Somebody get in there and help that man.
Oh! What is up, guys, gals, and ghouls? Dallas here with That Ass Series, here to recount the American Horror Story Death Valley, Episode 1. I think that's everything. Just wanted to go ahead, give you the quick rundown, give you my thoughts on it, and let you know where I think the season might be going. So let's go ahead and get into it. I don't know why I'm doing that when there's no video here. So right off the bat, dust devils seem to be a sign of the coming dangers. The effects also look like they were straight out of a 50s sci-fi movie. Veteran American Horror Story fans are going to catch the asylum quality Close Encounter of the Third Kind before these things start to actually set themselves apart from the aliens that we do know by taking people over. Little Timmy is the first to get possessed or whatever happens to him there. And then he reaches out to Maria and just blinks himself into this milky-eyed creepiness. We cut to Dwight Eisenhower on vacation right before he gets called away to do his presidential duty. Unfortunately, it's not something simple like talking war. He winds up going to a rather unique crash site. He also has to convince his wife, Mamie, before he goes that it's not a secret that could affect their personal lives before she calls him out on how bad of a liar he is. Probably something that's going to come into play later, but we'll get there. At the crash site, a dead alien body is recovered, along with a living human one, that of Amelia Earhart. She's been missing since 1937. I believe this part takes place in like 1956-ish. So, I mean, she's been gone for about 19 years now. It's not odd at all that she hasn't aged a day, but sometimes they took blood, sometimes they put things inside her. She also doesn't take too kindly to having been gone for something like 20 years. Scarred and pregnant, she has to be sedated, and from what the promos have shown, the delivery is less than successful. The alien autopsy takes place, and if you didn't think of Men in Black or Independence Day when this happened, well, you should watch them. They're good movies. There's hints of the Thing in the Blob when the alien's actually shown in its true form. They go to cut the alien open, and it's just a hollow shell. There's no machinery in it or anything, but it is like it's like a car for whatever these things are. This little blob comes out, kills the doctors in the room, and immediately makes their heads blow up. So I don't know if these things take over the headless body, or does that just kill the alien? Like, if they're worried about their numbers, kind of seems like backward thinking there to kill themselves. Anyway, and that's when Susie fucking Homemaker rolls in, and she's popping heads like pimples. The meeting in the next episode looks like it's going to be pretty exciting. But before that, we cut to modern day, meet our protagonists of sorts, this little millennial crew of Cal, who wants to take over the world, Kendall, who's aspiring to be a doctor, Troy, whose hobbies include cocaine, full stop, and Jamie, who wants to be a self-help guru but has a full-time hobby of dealing with a breakup. Full-time crying over cummy titties. It's a whole mood. Cal and Troy come out. Jamie recounts her actually rather traumatic sexual experience. After talking about the tech advancements of the last 50 years, Kendall basically tech shames the others into doing a no-phone vacation. That's, she calls them nomophobes. And, yeah, it just talks them into it. They all leave their phones at home instead of just, like, in the car. I must be a nomophobe, I don't know. But they go to their surprisingly set up campsite. They settle in, go for a hike the next day. Troy is leading the way. He says that there's a pond that he had found yesterday, but when they get there, there's actually nothing. And everything looks like it's been a whole ass desert for its whole life. So I don't know if that was a mirage or if they already got Troy. Don't know. But they go there. There is no pond. They smell a smell and they follow their nose to wherever those corpses were dumped, because it's just animals everywhere. And not just animals, they're like cut in half, bisected, and still alive to boot. Kendall goes to pet one, which, why? I don't know. She goes to pet one. It blinks back to life, moos at her in disapproval, and they all just try to get the fuck out of Dodge from there. Go back to their campsite. They pack up. They try to get out, and while they're on their way, the car breaks down, lights go out, and then huge, just bright light comes shining through the windshield and rises up above them. And then the next thing you know, It's just lights, camera, and little tentacle strangulation before they all wake up. And they're in opposite seats, and Jamie's actually missing, which they don't notice at first. No one says anything about it until they're on their way out. But they almost hit her, and thankfully that they didn't leave her behind or anything because of it. But they're on their way out. They are getting noticeably sick. It's actually a few weeks later when we catch up with them. Kendall's throwing up, Jamie's throwing up, Troy is throwing up, Kurt, what's his name? Cal is throwing up. And then come to find out, all four of them, women and men alike, are pregnant. And that's where the episode ends off. Just a couple of points, or a couple of things that I had noticed was, spoiler alert, sometime soon, I don't know if it's the next episode, but Mamie is going to get possessed. There was images of her like floating in the promo, like the housewife was. I don't know if she threatens Dwight or what the deal is, but she gets taken over. And I have a feeling that her saying that a year in office and you still can't lie, that might come back up in some way directly against Mamie, or Mamie, like the alien that's in her. I don't know if that lie is going to be bad for him or be bad for her, but I feel like him not being able to lie is going to come back. Tech aversion is also probably going to come into play. Just people wanting to distance themselves from that because of it. Tech is scary, or whatever the point of it was. But I feel like it doesn't know, or I don't know where it's going yet. I mean, shit, my best guess is like some at World's End, we're all going to be living like cavemen by the time the season's over type shit. And then the last thing was the guys being pregnant. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Look Who's Talking. There's a scene in there where Kirstie Alley's character is describing pregnancy and childbirth as squeezing something the size of a watermelon out of something the size of a lemon. I don't know what the food math would equate to for men, but I feel like it would suck. So that's going to be interesting to see if they try and C-section themselves. They're going to try and carry this bitch to full term, and I'm going to have a natural pregnancy with no epidural. Get the epidural. But yeah, what did you guys think? Were you satisfied with the episode? Are you happy with where it left off? Comment your thoughts below. Let me know what you thought. Get at me on Twitter at @DeadassSeriousD, and I'll catch you guys next time.